Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And once again, this is the one-day chart. We're sitting here at $3.05. So far, all morning, XRP's been holding above $3. And if you look at the 7-day chart, like I was saying, higher lows. Here was the first two. Another higher low. Another higher low. Another higher low. It looks like we're continuing upward unless some devastating news drops that sends Bitcoin plummeting, taking the rest of the market with it. We should continue upward from here. And right now, Bitcoin is back above 116K. I really want to see Bitcoin go on that final ascent so we could see where the top comes in for Bitcoin. I'm still thinking it's going to come in under $130,000. I see all these predictions, $200,000, $500,000. I think it's going to struggle to get above 130K. Let's see how it all plays out. And this is why it seems XRP is pumping today. Ripple to acquire Rail for $200 million, expanding leadership in stablecoin payments. So the Ripple and Rail advantage as demand for stablecoin-based flows continues to rise. Ripple and Rail will enable customers to meet this market shift head-on. Together, they will have stablecoin on-off ramps and asset flexibility. Third-party and treasury payments offer flexibility to customers, enabling them to manage multiple payment types, including third-party payments, on behalf of their customers, as well as internal treasury flows, seamlessly through a single platform. Premium digital asset liquidity. Support payments across a variety of digital assets like RLUSD, XRP, and others, and provide competitive pricing on high-value tickets. So you see, XRP is going to be included. Virtual account and collections enable customers to transact with digital assets without the need to open dedicated crypto bank accounts or wallets on centralized exchanges, lowering barriers to entry and removing operational hurdles. They're going to make it simple to onboard as well. And when something is easy, people will use it. Simple integration and always-on infrastructure connect customers to a global payment network that operates 24/7, 365 through a single API for streamlined onboarding. Nobody wants complicated. Enterprise-grade compliance and license. Deliver regulated, secure payment flows with 60-plus licenses that meet the highest standards for financial institutions. Banking Partner Network offer a new level of built-in redundancy and reliability through the collective multi-bank partner network, giving clients resilient global coverage. This is a huge acquisition. I was just saying in a video yesterday, I can't wait to see Ripple make more acquisitions. And the very next day, this happens. And this one's very big. Rail currently holds 10% of the business-to-business stablecoin payments market. Rail will use RLUSD and XRP in payments. You know, Rail is one of those companies that's integrated into multiple things, and it opens up even more utility for XRP. And it's going to also push RLUSD ahead of the rest. I really like the direction this is going in. With Rail supporting Fedwire, ACH, SWIFT, SEPA, FPS, and even crypto 24/7. Ripple just plugged into global rails. That's how big this actually is. And you see crypto same day 24/7. This is the payment timelines. So for Fedwire, it's same day during U.S. banking hours if before 3 p.m. I think Fedwire is going to expand the time frames as well over time. ACH, same day or next day during U.S. banking hours. SWIFT, 1 to 4 days during U.S. banking hours. SWIFT is just outdated. You know, SWIFT is going to be left behind because they're not even trying to keep up with everyone else. Europe, same day, 24/7. That's SEPA Instant. SEPA CT, same day or next day during European banking hours. FPS, same day. CHAPS, same day or next day during UK banking hours. IMPS, same day or next day. You see where this is going. We are on the path to real-time payments now. Everything is going to be in real time. You know, same-day payments is great, but real-time payments is even better. And what's really going to open that up is going to be them using XRP even more. This comes from Chad Steingraber. Well. Look at who the lead investors are of newly acquired Rail by Ripple, Galaxy, and Mr. Mike Novogratz. Of course, Novogratz is holding XRP. They also have a very big investment in Ripple as well. But then you see them on the mainstream media news and they're bashing XRP and they're bashing Ripple, pushing that whole ETH and Bitcoin narrative as hard as they possibly can. Because they don't want you buying XRP. That's what it comes down to. You should never be holding an asset like XRP if you're a retail investor. That's for institutional investors. It was never meant for retail in the first place. They want you putting your money into Bitcoin and Ethereum. Brad Garlinghouse weighed in on this as well. He says, no such thing as the August doldrums at Ripple. Very excited to share that we're acquiring Rail Financial. Everybody thinks that Ripple is going to slow down at some point. Ripple does not slow down. Ever since 2022, when things looked like they were at their worst, FTX was collapsing out, Luna was collapsing out, other collapses were happening. The whole crackdown on crypto was happening, and yet Ripple just kept pushing forward. Same thing with Hedera. Non-stop growth at the worst time in crypto. Ripple ended up going global in a very big way back in 2022. And yet people still think that XRP holders are not going to make a hell of a lot of money over the coming months. The real price of XRP right now should be so much higher. Monica Long also weighed in. Stablecoin payments are everywhere for good reason. When we met the Rail Financial team, we knew their product capabilities would complement what Ripple Payments already offers. Together, we're taking the complexity out of stablecoin-based payments for any financial institution's needs. We'll have capabilities such as stablecoin, pay-in, payouts, including USD, without requiring customers to hold crypto or manage accounts themselves. Not to mention a broad and deep global network, market-leading liquidity, and more. Welcome, Rail. They want to make this so simple. They want to get that institutional adoption. And where are the institutions going to go? To wherever they could easily onboard. They don't want a complicated process. I think what this is going to happen. Take a listen to David Schwartz here. He talks about stable coins.
I think what's going to happen is there's going to be use cases where digital assets like XRP and Bitcoin make sense, where volatility is either an advantage or not a disadvantage. And there'll be other cases where a sort of more stable token like RLUSD or some other stablecoin will make more sense, where either the volatility is a disadvantage or where the recipient doesn't want to deal with the complexity of having a volatile asset. So I think you're going to see enterprise use cases in everything from trade finance to tokenized real world assets. Essentially, almost everything is a payment. Like a loan is a payment, right? If you borrow money from me, I pay it to you and you pay me back. Tokenized securities, if you're buying Apple stock, you're spending money to buy that Apple stock. And when you sell it, there's always a payment on the other side. And so I think one use case for stablecoins will be as a payment asset where the recipient doesn't want to deal with the volatility and where the recipient just wants to sort of have a fixed amount of payment. It's especially going to be interesting for applications where the endpoint recipient of the funds is not somebody who's sort of interested in participating in the digital asset space. Like you're buying groceries. Your grocery store owner might be interested in participating in the digital asset space, but probably they just want to receive dollars. And so it allows the endpoints to not have the complexity. Whether how useful will be sort of inside the internals and the machinery, I think collateral will be one case. So like if you use a digital asset for collateral, you have to significantly over collateralize. Like if you're going to use XRP as collateral, it could have in value tomorrow. It probably won't, but it could. And if you're using it as collateral, the person who's accepting the collateral probably doesn't want to take that risk. So it's a little awkward to use digital assets for collateral, unless if you have a lot of it and it's a tax optimization, yeah. But we're not going to rebuild the new financial system on tax optimization for people who have lots of digital assets, right? Like for collateral, like you're going to want more stable assets. And one of the interesting things from Ripple's point of view is like prime brokerages like Hidden Road, which we're in the process of acquiring, like have a lot of collateral. And so looking at very efficient ways to use stablecoins like RLUSD to have that collateral easier to move around and more liquid and so on.
So what he's telling you is stable coins are going to be accepted everywhere because most people right now, they don't want to get involved with digital assets yet. They will once mass adoption begins and everybody's talking about crypto. All of a sudden, everybody's going to have it. It's like anything. At first, nobody wants to touch it, but then all of a sudden, a few big players in the game start talking about it, like maybe JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs or BlackRock. Then everybody starts to wake up to it and they're like, oh, I got to have that too. If they're talking about it, there's a lot of money in it. That's how you get the merchant to be interested in digital assets. That's how you get everybody interested in using digital assets. But what goes on now is you have stablecoins opening up the doors already. So when they want to start using digital assets or crypto, it's an easy transition. Okay, so instead of me accepting stablecoins, going forward, I want to start accepting XRP or something else. It's going to be an easier transition. RLUSD opens the door for XRP later. And how far are we away from mass adoption? Take a listen to this.
I think also just better user experiences. We're really like, if people are going to be able to use a blockchain, they're not going to have to. They're going to have to not. It's going to have to be the case where you can use a blockchain without having to know what a private key is, or without having to know what a blockchain is. Like it's just going to have to just work. And I think we're really close. I think we're just like a couple of months away from turning some of those corners to true mass adoption, providing the financial services that like ordinary people around the world need. And that.
Take notice what he said. We're a couple of months away. That's how close we actually are. And nobody's going to understand what blockchain is. They're just going to be making payments the way they make payments right now, whether it be a debit card or credit card. And in the background, you're going to have blockchain, stable coins, blockchain, possibly crypto. I think early on it would most likely be a stable coin, but I think shortly after it will transition to crypto as well. We're going to hit a time where you're going to have a digital wallet. The merchant's going to have a digital wallet, and you're going to tell him, okay, I'm going to pay you in XRP. And he's going to be like, okay, that's great. I accept XRP as well. And you just go from your wallet to the merchant's wallet. No middleman at all. We will eventually get to that point, and it all starts with mass adoption. But mass adoption is not going to be an overnight event. It's going to be something that transitions over a short period of time. It will feel like a flip of the switch moment for XRP investors because we're going to make a lot of money very quick when it happens. And we are absolutely getting there. You could see it coming already. The institutions are going to be what really opens that up. If you've been here for any amount of time, you knew this was the archetype that was being built. This is what all those acquisitions are leading to. This right here. This is the end game where you have a massive liquidity pool of XRP and you have stablecoins going in and out of XRP all day long. And the XRP locked away in this liquidity pool is going to be a massive amount of XRP. And you could already see this being built as well. Just add RL in front of any of these. RLUSD is coming. RLEUR will get here. RLGBP will get here. And so on. And that's how everybody's going to be transacting in the future. This is what the BIS has been building in the background while everyone is distracted by Bitcoin and Ethereum all over the mainstream media news. The day that the mainstream media news starts talking about XRP, you are then too late. Until then, you continue to pack as much as you possibly can. But like I said at the beginning of this video, it looks like XRP is printing higher lows after higher low. And I think we're going to continue upward from here as long as nothing devastating happens in the world. Because it looks like we're now going to start to head into alt season as well. The timeline fits. This would be the beginning of alt season. But I think this alt season is going to be so much different than previous alt seasons. We have so many catalysts for XRP, and at the same time, it seems like delays keep happening, so those catalysts can keep building as well. But I think this is going to be one hell of an alt season, and I think it's eventually going to turn into a massive utility run. But until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.